Aotira tēnā koutou nā whānau, o nā kōhanga reo putano i Aotearoa whānau. E mihi ana kia koutou kua hono mai, ai tēnei ahi ki tō tātou nei kaupapa a Whaioranga. A ko tahuri tūmoana hau, tō koutou nei mokopuna, e arahi nei i a tātou nei kōrero, a tātou nei mahi, o tēnei wā. Nō reira ki ko te haurua, te hawhi haora, kia tātou i tēnei ahi, ka whakarona ke tātou ki nā kōrero, a tēnei o tātou nei papa, ia papa Hema, Andrew Hema. Nō reira, kia timata i tētahi paku whakaronui, te muti i ramanuku, te muti i ramarirangi, ko koe kei wite kia notia e koe. Whiwhi tōnā ka o mahara, kia puta ki te whaiao, ki te ao mārama. Tērā, te mu ka eke, te mu kei a koe, te mu o i nei kōrero, te mu o te whāriki, tūturu te iria tanata, tūturu te rea Māori, nā iwi, tūturu te ao nā āpatana, ako tūturu ka whakamaua kia tīna, haumi e, hui e, tāi ki e. Nō reira, ai te whānau koe nei rā, ko te kaupapa o Whaioranga, ko te kirapu, te haumaritana mā tātou nei whānau, mā tātou nei mokopuna, mea tātou nei tamariki. Nō reira, ai i te rani nei, we had an earlier broadcast mai I roto o Tauranga Moana, ki te taha o Kura Martin, e me nā kōhanga reo te kaumā whitu, nā whānau o reira hoki e whiwhi ana I wā rātou wero tuatahi. So it has been a long journey mō tātou. Here in Tāmaki Makaurau, we are still at level 3 and we are working through next steps in the coming months. What's it going to look like? What's going to happen? So totally understand and marama ana, he nui nā piki, me nā heke, and we have lots of questions and e rapu ana tātou I te orana mō tātou katoa. Nō reira kia huri ake tātou, ki tēnei I tana, we interviewed, had a kōrero with Papa Andrew, ai tēnei rā, I runai no I nā mahi, engari ka huri ake tātou ki ana kōrero, ki te taha o nā Kaimahi. Nō reira, e mihi nui ana ki a koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Nō reira, kua waimari e tātou I tēnei rā, ki te Ka pai e te whānau, aroha mai. This is a live show and we do have technical difficulties. So we will start that kōrero again to get our kōrero out, and here we go. Aroha mai te whānau. Here we go. Kia kora ke tātou, ki tō tātou pāpā. Ia Andrew Hema, mihi ana kia koutou. Kua waimari e tātou I tēnei rā, ki te kōrero ki tēnei, wā tātou nei pāpā ki tēnei, kua roa nei e te aki ana, e aki ana I wā tātou nei Kaimahi, I roto I te Kōhanga Reo, mea tātou whānau anō hoki. Nō reira e te whānau mihi mai ki tēnei o a tātou nei rangatira, no roto mai o te kohu, kia Andrew, kia papa Andrew, kia Andrew Hema e te pāpā tēnā rawa atu koe.
Kia ora koe tāhuri.
Kei te pēhea koe?
Kei te pai, tino pai.
Ka pai. Nō reira, nā mihi nui kia koe, mo tō whakawātea mai ia koe anō, ki te kōrero mai kia tātou. Me te mea anō, he kōrero noi ho tēnei. E te whānau, this is just merely a discussion on what I suppose are the basic requirements, to give us a basic understanding around vaccination, the mandate order to be vaccinated, and also the order to be tested. So, rāua tahi, ka noho, nā te kāwana tana I tuku mai, hei tiaki a tātou ki anoho haumaru ai tātou. So, Papa, Andrew, can you just give us a brief explanation of where did the authority come for this vaccination order?
Well, clearly it came from the Crown, from government, and clearly it came because of a concern for the health and safety and well-being of people in clusters, big clusters. And essentially that's about keeping everyone safe, including mokopuna, Kaimahi, Whānau. We all know about the COVID and the Delta strain. So it's a response to what was happening in the community with our children, with our tamari, with our whānau, and it is a public health mandatory requirement to be vaccinated in certain designations, in certain roles and positions.
So is it safe to say, and I think people are getting their wires crossed in terms the difference between an order and the law? Basically, they're one and the same, right?
They're precisely the same, and if by way of example, if we can explain it in what we already have in Kōhanga, it's well known, well documented that in Kōhanga it's a requirement to have safety checks, police vetting. That's a mandatory requirement. For the COVID, the protection against COVID, that's a mandatory requirement as well. The vaccination, that's a reality. Reality is that if you want to work in Kōhanga, you have to be vaccinated.
Ka pai. And Kōhanga Reo obviously is not the only sector affected. What other areas or other sectors are required to be vaccinated?
Every sector in the education area, early childhood, kura kaupapa, mainstream, everything to do with education, where we're face to face with our mokopuna, is a requirement to be vaccinated. There are other essential areas of work that is required to be vaccinated, but by and large, for our purpose, for our business, for our mahi, it's in that education space and that learning space that there is a requirement to be vaccinated.
And who needs to be vaccinated?
All of us. Kei roto te whare o Te Kōhanga Reo, tātou katoa. If you are Kaimahi, if you are parent, whānau, all of those that will come face to face with our mokopuna are required to be vaccinated. Contractors that periodically will do mahi inside your whare are required to be vaccinated. The golden rule, rather than to look at and try to look at bigger pictures, look at the smaller picture and the purpose. It's about keeping each other safe. Simplify it so that if somebody is going to come in contact with our whānau, require them to be vaccinated. Don't start looking at small print. Look at the bigger print. The purpose is to keep each other safe. Better to be safe than sorry. It's better to turn somebody away at the door. It might be a little bit embarrassing, but the main purpose is to keep those inside that whare safe.
Yeah, and we have mentioned that there are some conflicting rules, I suppose, around what you can and can't do, who can come into the Kōhanga Reo, who can't come into the Kōhanga Reo, and a lot of our whānau, I suppose, they're scared. Let's be honest, they're scared of COVID, and they're scared of losing their kaimahi, and they're scared of being alienated from something they love dearly. So, example, you got in one of them, you can drop off your tamaiti. In some of our, like tamaki, it's easy for us, I tell you, because COVID is right here on our front door in our whānau. We've got people I know, I love, who have died, who have affected now, and we know, drop off at the door, hide it. But the order, you can take your baby into the Kōhanga Reo, settle them down. How long does that take? Who knows? Could be half a day. You know, if that's normal. Half a day, 1 hour tākaro, then you go, kind of thing. So those kind of things. And in the order it says, if you're in front of the tamariki or Kaimahi, you must be vaccinated. So that tuki kei reira.
That's right. I think that's an unfortunate thing. I'm not convinced that the order actually says exactly what you described. I think that there was a comment in one of the releases from the Ministry of Education that stated that if you're not vaccinated, you could take your child into the whare and settle them down. I think that's an unfortunate slip, and I certainly hope it is, because that's a contradictory, it's contradicting what we're really trying to do, what everybody's trying to do. I think in the case of Kōhanga, my view is that they should have an internal policy that counteracts that, so that doesn't apply. Stick to the aim. The aim is to keep people safe.
Sorry, that's our tūtohina. No, you're talking about our tūtohina?
The
policies that are in our tūtohina, you can actually just explain that part of where we get, I suppose, the uniqueness of each Kōhanga Reo to be able to determine their own health and safety policies.
Well, what we can't do is we can't put into our tūtohina that we are not going to comply with the vaccination, with the public health order. We can't do that. What we can do, though, is put a policy in place that enhances the way that we operate, so that on one hand there may have been a statement that says that a non-vaccinated parent could take their child into their mokopuna, their tamaiti, into the kohanga and settle them. My advice would be that within your tūtohina that you make a policy that is not to apply. That's inconsistent with the intent of keeping everybody safe. If it's good enough for our Kaimahi and everybody else in face-to-face with our whānau to be vaccinated, then that should equally apply to parents who are dropping off their mokopuna, that they drop them off at the gate if they're not vaccinated, and not be permitted to take them into Kōhanga and settle them down. Koina.
And you said it. And this is how we start linking up of our mokopuna and then our whānau who may be unvaccinated, who may also create a sense of compromising, I suppose, the whole bubble of that Kōhanga Reo whānau collectively. So, you can imagine the Kaimahi maybe, we're all vaccinated, yet some of our whānau are not vaccinated. That creates another kaupapa that, of being anxious.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. The COVID itself and the order is placing our kaupapa, tikana Māori, the way we do things, will have to change, will have to evolve in order to meet some compliance around some of that order. Traditionally the relationship between Kaimahi and whānau has been kotahi tātou. And with this COVID order, it will definitely see some restrictions where whānau who choose not to be vaccinated will not be able to enter into the kohana learning space. They will not be able to go on haidena. There are lots of things that over time we're going to have to learn how to live with them and then how to adapt so that we can get as close as possible to what we previously enjoyed. But let's make no mistake about it, it will be different.
Ka pai. And then, some whānau or Kaimahi might be looking at exemptions to the mandatory order to be vaccinated, and that is allowed.
Yes.
However, what I hear, it's actually quite difficult. It's going to be quite strictly policed, I suppose, who can and who can't. Can you just give us a bit of call about that?
Yes, well, going back to your earlier statement around some of the changes that have occurred as time has gone on, exemption is one of them. Previously, people could go to their doctor and get an exemption of some kind. Just recently, that's been changed. Now, in order to get an exemption, there's a process where you can only get that through your medical doctor, qualified person, or a nurse practitioner. They will then make a recommendation back to MOH, Ministry of Health, and that's where the exemption will be decided, whether you get one or not. What we do know is that the statements we have seen, that it will be a rarity, it'll be the exception rather than the rule to get an exemption. So it won't be easy, and it does chew up time as well. So for those that had an exemption previously, as of a few days ago, those became null and void, and they will have to go through the new application process. And like I've mentioned, that takes up time, and it's obviously unlikely that those people, those Kaimahi, will be vaccinated by the 15th of November, in which case they will not be in Kōhanga on the 16th, and they would have to wait pending a decision on their exemptions. So it could take a while. So there's a little bit of planning, a little bit of consideration, and a lot of thinking for the whānau around how they will operate to maintain their ratios.
Yeah, and I suppose that causes this is another area of concern for a lot of our Kōhanga Reo who have Kaimahi that do not want to be vaccinated. And so those ratios aren't able to be maintained, and maybe looking at some, I would say, hopefully a short-term closure till they find other solutions. Just talk us through that for whānau, because I know etahi wā, and let's be honest, with our whānau as the employer, and I'm not saying in my pēr whakatinga, our whānau are the employers, that when we start to ki te taka ki tēnei taha o te kaupapa, te taha ture, we can actually be quite harsh in our reading of the law and how we subscribe to it. And for some odd reason, te aroha ki te tanata goes out the window. And we kind of, we forget to look after each other, that we have, with our Kaimahi, obviously, they've probably done one or two of your own kids or something like that. And this has come along, and we're about, I would say about a month out from Christmas. So, there's a lot of stress on whānau. So what, just give us maybe like a way, I suppose, that we can kind of step through this, because, we still got till January 1st. How we can step through this once we hit that November. What has to happen on November the 15th, and how can we step through this?
Kia ora, e nui tērā pātai. The big player in this about what will happen between the 15th and Christmas, it really is a decision for the whānau. You mentioned about the manaki, the Kaimahi, and all of those sorts of things. This really is a time that on the 15th, definitely there will be Kaimahi who do not want to be vaccinated, and there's a consequence to that decision, which ultimately is likely to be termination of employment. But the whānau have the discretionary authority to help the Kaimahi through the period from the 15th of November through to the 1st of January, or through at least to Christmas, particularly for those who are adamant that they're not going to be vaccinated. As you mentioned, it is a difficult time. We're only 5 or 6 weeks away from Christmas. So I suggest to whānau, my advice to whānau is give some consideration to how they may be able to ease the pain, the mamai, the anxiety for Kaimahi who are not going to be vaccinated, but are looking forward to a bleak Christmas, I guess. But you could help to manage that process by having a discussion around whether they have the finances to carry that burden through for a short period of time. That's one solution. I'm sure there are others. It's an unfortunate thing that the COVID puts a lot of pressure on employers. The Act puts a lot of pressure on employers. And in our situation in Kōhanga, it's not easy because we don't have the same management ability inside Kōhanga as the likes of Spark and all these other big companies. You know, we're very ordinary people trying to do the best for our mokopuna. And along come these sorts of challenges. It's not easy.
Yeah, and koe nā noi ho tāku te papa there. I hope our whānau are very caring, and I know they don't want to make these decisions either. But we're compelled. We use that word a lot. We are compelled by the ture to do these things, and it does come underneath te whaioranga, te pautua whātua tātou kaupapa, but also te whaioranga wa tātou nei Kaimahi, and te whaioranga te whānau, te hapu te iwi, ko te iwi. That's kind of, just as I suppose from the comms team feeding into the senior management and the portal that's flowing between the different ministries and coming down, I suppose the tone is what we've been trying to do is to ensure that the information, because this is a bit last minute, I didn't know, how come this has come up all of a sudden, how will kōrero ki tērā whakaaro?
Personally, I think our comms have been good and been on point. It's a personal opinion, a personal view. I think sometimes they can be a little bit busy, but that's the nature of trying to ensure that everybody gets as much information as possible. But typically, it might be a bit cliche-ish, but you can take a horse to water, you can't force it to drink. In the same way, you can provide a lot of information, but there's no guarantee that people will read it. Having said that, though, I'd like to explain the process of how we get the information, and then how our comms team gets the information, and how we get it out to whānau. The process generally is that the information originally comes from the Ministry of Health. They're the ones that, by and large, have the knowledge around what is to be disseminated. Their information is then shared with the Ministry of Education, who put together their inputs along with the Ministry of Health stuff, whatever is valid and necessary. We get that information from both parties, we being our comms team, and do our best to put that together in a way that we trust and hope that our kōhanga whānau would find it beneficial. On a daily basis, I would guess that we have that information out to whānau within 2 hours of receiving it on a daily basis. I think that's fairly good. What's not understood, though, is that, I don't think it's understood clearly enough, is that information is often, we get it on a Monday, we get it out Monday night. That's how quickly things move. And we do that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and the Ministry of Health publish on Saturday and Sunday. It's not like we've had a lot of time to go over these things. It's not like get a lot of time to understand what decisions have been made at Parliament and what feeds through to the rest of us. But in the time that we do have, I'd like to believe, and I do believe, that our team does a very, very good job of keeping kōhanga whānau informed. As we get closer towards the 15th, 16th of November, and of course the 1st of January, I think that our comms probably need to be a little bit more directed to our mahi kei roto te whare, rather than generalising about the stats in various parts of the motu. Koina.
Ka pai, tēnā koe papa, and I suppose it's funny that we're here preaching to ourselves. Engari, I suppose when we look at the, from the comms point of view, is that when we look at the high rates of cases, this whole kaupapa started with one, the whole country went into lockdown. Now we're up into the 148, 100, we're hitting 200s, and the levels are coming down. And to us as a comms team, I suppose that's the scariest thing. Hauna no te kōhanga reo. Hauna no te kōhanga reo. When this taniwha of tāmaki makaurau, ka tukuna nā waka kia hoki ki o rātou kaina, that's where I fear for our whānau and our people. So the tere, or the tikanga, is not going to take care of people leaving tāmaki and COVID. What's going to take care of each other is our aroha for each other. Our care to not be in a rush to go and see our nani and go over there to taria te wā, to kind of be mindful about who we spend our time with and where we go. So koina te, I suppose, why the stats are important, because it's different each rohe. Wai painami, why are we not, we don't need to be level 2. Let's, drop it down. Next minute, I put my, a case up i te tauihu and a case in Waitaha. Taranaki, no cases today, there was cases. So, hema te mōrearea tēnei, he nānara tēnei e huri haere ana I wainanui a tātou. And ki te huri tuara tātou ki aia, ka peke ia ki runa I a koe. So it's very difficult, I suppose, and I'm just saying from my point of view, te papa, to not take that into consideration, and the alert levels that everyone is sitting in. Because I suppose as a national movement, we've got to take care of everyone, and those alert levels are certainly confusing. Alert level 3 testing mandated, alert level 2 not mandated, some traffic lights in 9A, some DHB 90% corduroy 9A. I mean, from your point of view, that also must be quite a challenge to make sense of.
Tika tonu. I think challenge is probably a too soft a word. Frustrating is probably a better word. It's bad enough the level 1s through to 4, and then when the traffic system was put in, the traffic light system put in, it's even more confusing. I may get into trouble for this, but my advice to whānau is, by and large, for our kaupapa, ignore the traffic lights. If you happen to be in level 3, that's what we're familiar with. We know what we have to do in level 3. Do what we know. The traffic lights, in my view, while it has a little part for us in terms of increasing the bubble, by and large, it's in my view, it's targeted at businesses being able to open, and perhaps obviously that's a good thing for business. Allows people to get out and do a little bit more, but from a Kōhanga Whānau point of view, understanding the alert levels, keep it simple. It's 1, 2, 3, and what you can do in those bubbles. Those are things in those alerts, rather. Those are things we're familiar with. Level 3, step 2, and all this sort of stuff. Even very clever people have difficulty with those traffic lights.
It's a basic horoiorina. The social distance. It is actually, and that's what we want to promote. Bueno papa, e mihi nui ana ki a koe. E mihi nui ana ki a koe mo ene kōrero, I te painamu nei, hei whai maua tata nei whānau. I suppose the last question is, should our whānau Kaimahi need support? This is probably where they would like to know. Where do I go to? Who can I talk to if we need support? I know we've got, you've been around to some of the rohe, and given kōrero to our Kōhanga Reo whānau. What's the best place or avenue that they can reach out to get support?
The best place, the initial best place is at your local tari. The tari within your rohe is the best place. I know that all of our district managers in the rohe are working really hard with their team to try to keep in contact, to try to give as much information as they can, designed to help as much as they can. I also know that, they can always contact me by way of email. I'm hopeless at, if you ring me up and you leave me a message, I'm very hopeless at responding to that message. I am very reliable if you email me. That's the best place to, if you're looking for support, those are the contacts. Your local rohe tari, and then if you need to, come to me and I'll do my best to try to help.
Tēnā rawa te koe te pāpā, mihi mea ana ki a koe. E mihi ana ki nā mahi me nā tai a kōti a koe, nā tai pahure nei, he nui nā kaupapa, ko kawe e koe ki nei o Pakihiwi, a te tiaki anō i wā tātou nei Kaimahi, a te noho tonu ki tō tātou nei kaupapa, me nā mahi, e mahi e nei e koe, a me te mōhio, he nui tonu o mahi kai mua i tō aroaro. Nō reira haere tonu i runa i te whakaaro pai, te whakaaro rangatira ki tō tātou nei kaupapa, a kia noho haumaru, a kia noho ora. Tēnā rawa te koe.
Mā koe hoki tāhui, tēnā koe. Kia ora.
Ai, o te rai te whānau, tēnā rawa te koutou, whakarono mai nā ki nā kōroro, māua ko Papa Anaru. Ai, e kita nei wā koutou pātai, e aroha nui ana ki a koutou. He mahi nui kei mūtoni wā tātou nei aroaro. Kei konei hoki a tēnei pai tuku kōrero, me ki ko tēnei āhua e hara i te āhua Te Kōhanga Reo. Ko tōna āhua kanohi ki te kanohi. Engari runa i te noho wehe, whakaritea tēnei āhua tana, hei tuku etahi kōrero, iti nei ki a koutou. Hei tāpiri atu anō ki wā tātou nei kōrero, kei runa i tō tātou nei whārani pukamata. Nō reira, ki te kore koutou e mōhio, nā pānui katoa ka whakairia ki tō tātou nei paituku kōrero ki konei. Nō reira, ka tae koutou te kuhatu ki konei, hai ki tō tātou nei pāringa Te Kōhanga Reo, te mea tuatahi tonu, kei reira te paihono kei te tīmatana, ka kuhatu au ki roto, kei kona hei tāpiri atu mō etahi o koutou, ka pātui atu konei, kei reira hoki nā kōrero kei tēnei nā frequently asked questions ne. Koenei pia te mea matua i tēnei wā, ko te Vaccine Mandate. Koera te mea e whaia nei tātou mō nā pātai. Kei reira katoa e whakatakoto ana hea nā mahi, hea me mahia, and maybe some other information that will help you navigate through this time. So you can access our pānui there also. Nō reira, kāre e whakatōtō haere i a koutou, mōhio ana kua mitu pia Te Kōhanga Reo, kua oho nā pēpē ka taima anō nā mātua ki te tiki a rātou. Engari mō mātou tāmaki makaurau, e ahua moke ana tonu tērā ahua ki a mātou, engari e aroha nui ana ki a koutou. Nō reira, te whānau, kia haumaru tā tātou noho i roto i wā tātou nei whakaaro, kia nāwari anō i roto i wā tātou nei mahi. Kia whakanui tō tātou nei kaupapa. Ka tuku aroha ki te wāhinaro, e ku nui aku rahi, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa.